Well, hello there, love bugs. Are you people over there on my NAROB fam page over there on Facebook yet? Y'all lunching. I don't know why y'all over there. I don't understand my people. Y'all, they be over there putting in good work over there. Y'all need to go visit them. Check them out. Sometimes they continue the conversation of the day's video over there, and plus people be having like funny memes and stuff, sharing parts of their lives that, I love. But go check it out. It's important to me that you guys join the NAROB fam club, because I had said that I didn't want it to be a fan club, because this isn't about being fanatics, it's about being family. Okay, but anyway, love bugs, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. Now we are wrapping up. Not today. I think we got like 2 or 3 more videos. But we are continuing to wrap up the Richard Pryor convictions and other life sentences, the official autobiography. Y'all, I'm serious. It's important to me that you guys go over there and join the NAROB fan page. It's very important to me. Confused, I squandered away the summer working 2 days for $50,000 on the lame comedy In God We Trust, and preparing for a major role co-starring with Cicely Tyson in Family Dreams, later retitled Bustin' Loose. But neither picture, when it came to facing facts, was of the caliber I should have been doing if my head hadn't been lost in a haze of vodka, coke, and anger. Now, let me say this. Richard Pryor, again, I'm going to say you tripping. I don't like the way that you are in movies with A-list actors and you're still putting the movies down. I mean, goddamn, it's Gene Wilder, brother. I mean, it's Cicely Tyson. It's Cicely Tyson, baby. It ain't too many things that Cicely Tyson done that I'm like, nah, that wasn't good. Bustin' Loose was good. Do you remember the movie, Richard Pryor? Do you know what happened in the movie? Do you know what you were, the things that you were saying? Anyway, child, I already expressed myself. We can go on and on about how I'm like confused as to why he did not think that he was his most dynamic in some of the greatest movies that he in the world. Okay, but anyway, as it was, my finest performance were at home. Jenny and I acted like schizophrenic lovebirds. Seemingly destined for the Domestic Violence Hall of Fame, we nearly rewrote the record book the night I stood in the living room, cranked the gills, and grabbed my .357 revolver. I fired 3 rounds, then turned around and pointed the gun at Jenny, and I ordered, "Get out, bitch." 30 minutes later, when we made up, I said, "I'm glad you didn't make me kill you." Oh, my goodness. Now, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Now, that sounds like something that I would say to my wife. But I don't know how you can feel comfortable with, damn, I can't even say that. I can't even say that because I've had 2 men to pull guns on me before. And I rolled over and I went to sleep with them later on that night. But they were scared of me. You had to say they didn't pull the gun on me because of, nothing random. That was because they was in fear of their life. That's right. That's right. But I don't know if I could sleep next to Richard Pryor after he didn't pull that thing out on me, okay? I offered no apologies. Take my behavior on the set of Family Dreams, i.e. Bustin' Loose. In Seattle that October, erratic and ornery from dope, I must have worn out Cicely to the point where she spoke to her husband, who called me one afternoon in my trailer and in his own way asked me to shape up. "Rich," he said, "only one man in the world has that voice, Miles. Rich, that's my woman." Then he hung up. Even so, I knew what he meant. but I was too far into the shiz. Sorry, brother. Needless to say, going to Dirty Dick's meant I had one thing on my mind, and it was no secret to anybody because I was so goddamn open about using boogity sugar that it had become a cornerstone of my act, such as it was. When I walked into his place one afternoon in November 1979, I saw him going through this complicated process to fix up a tiny rock. It was 100% pure cocaine, and then smoked it. It transfixed me. My feet might as well have been in cement blocks. I stared and tried to comprehend the nuances of the ritual. It was like watching someone do a new dance step. It looked cool. The expression on his face, total bliss, real out there. And when the mother hunchy came down from that rocket blast, he looked at me like he just orgasmed. Oh man, he said. Yeah, Rich. You know, I just seen God. God, motherfucker. God. When I first did it, I knew it was going to fuck me up. Child. In a terrible, ominous, ironic forewarning of the calamity that lay ahead, I started a fire the first time I FreeBased at home. The rambling house was still dark and quiet. I was by myself behind the closed doors in my bedroom, seated at a little table, chasing that first high. Rock lighter, rum pipe. I thought that I was in touch with the Lord. Oh, Jesus, I muttered. Oh, God, don't bring Jesus into this, boy. When you smoking crack, not crack, FreeBase as they called it, but still, are you crazy? Don't bring the Lord into this. Leave the Jesus out of this. I should have sensed right then that the magic pipe was more than I could handle. But you don't have any sense when you smoke that shiz. Jenny told me that when she came home, the place had the feel of a haunted house. If it wasn't ugly before, it was then. Strange, spooky, menace in the air. I heard her call me, but I didn't respond. When she walked into the bedroom, I was standing beside the bed, pipe in hand, and staring at the pink comforter, which was on fire. The room was filled with smoke. Flames danced at my feet as if grasping for me. Richard, she screamed. My assistant, Rashawn, ran and grabbed the burning blanket and took it outside. From Numsville, I tried to explain. I don't know what happened. I was just trying to light the pipe the way you're supposed to. But the rum on the cotton tip must have dropped on the blanket and ... As I dove deeper into the gloom, I corrupted those around me. Missed a $100,000 a day cameo in the biblical spoof Holy Moses and barely noticed Christmas and New Year's. In less than a year, I'd gone from my artistic peak to my personal pits. I didn't give a fuck. Now, let me stop. Do y'all remember, what was his name? His name is Rashawn Khan, right? And I remember him being on Comedy Hype explaining some things about, I think he was talking about Paul Mooney and, Richard Pryor. Now, Richard Pryor describes him as his assistant, okay? But Rashawn looked like all that, like he did everything, like I thought he was old cool old dude. I looked at him and was like, ooh, Rashawn had put some bodies in the ground, not that I'm, turned on by, killers or nothing like that. But I'm just like, oh, I think Rashawn is the real deal, and this is before I read the book, because I could just tell that man had seen and done so much. As a matter of fact, Rashawn Khan was the person that told us that Quentin Tarantino was an old perverted white man that liked to see the brown titties. If you're unlucky, If you're unlucky, you sit and wait for someone to fix your rocks, and that's all you think about. When am I going to get my turn? The person who cooks has got the power. I was fortunate. I had money. I cooked it myself. I was fascinated with shaking up the shiz, cooking it, watching it bubble down, you know. Now, let me tell you right quick, referring back to the Etta James book. Remember, Etta James kind of explained to us the total experience of the high. You know, the high begins as soon as you get the bag. You know, so the high is included in the fixing up and the, tying one off and the burning up. The fix is included in that. So when I'm reading this, I understand it from what Etta James has said, and the best part about reading is you learn what you don't know, because I've never been a heroin addict, where I'm tying one off or, smoking crack or smoking rock or something like that. Not that I have a problem with any of that, because we all have our addictions, baby. Know this, any person that is in earshot of my voice, know that I will never judge you for any addiction that you have, because life is friggin' hard. Life will beat you down. Okay? You hear me? Life will beat you down. And I am shocked when I find people that have been through, the worst of it. That's not somewhere in a McDonald's bathroom tying one off. And that's all I got to say about that. Bill Cosby had once said of me that the line between comedy and tragedy was a thin one. From where I stood on the eve of filming Stir Crazy, wait a minute, girl. That was one of the best movies in Gene Wilder and Bill Cosby movies ever. If he say that he was disappointed in that, okay, because I'm not understanding this and he's frustrating me, okay? In Tucson in early March, there was no line. My mind was somewhere other than on the crazy caper about 2 truck drivers who bust out of prison after being mistakenly convicted of robbery. I immediately set myself apart from co-star Gene Wilder and director Sidney Poitier. Oh my goodness. Man, okay, so I know he better don't say that this one wasn't a good movie. Because Sidney, I know Sidney ain't gonna touch no bullshit. You got me messed up, and rest in heaven. Mr. Poitier, one of the most handsomest black men in the world, who created one of the most beautiful black women in the world. Sure. No, that's Sherry Belafonte. My bad. I'm getting all the black handsome man confused. My bad, y'all. Okay. Rather than stay in a luxury hotel where they were encamped, I rented a ramshackle home in the hills that was as isolated as I was trying to make myself. My unwillingness to play team ball created tension as thick as the smoke in the pipe that prevented me from showing up for work until noon or later. Another fuck up. Brother. When I tell you they making accommodations for this man, that is killing me. You working with Cicely Tyson. Oh my goodness. Brother. And it's like we had no clue that you was around there making them peoples crazy. Okay? I had no clue. I really thought that Richard Pryor was the kind of addict that let me get in, do my thing, and go home. Then I get high, higgity high, so freaking high. That's what I thought, At least that's how I work. Ooh, let me go to the left right quick, right? So, remember when I was saying the other day that I had let them cookies get the best of me? The reason why I say that was because I was doing it during the day. You hear me? I would get up, eat my little piece of cookie, go on about my day. Hey, today is a good day. I think I'll take a walk outside now during the day. Okay. And even though in my mind, I felt like I was accomplishing my days normally, looking back at it, I'm like, nah, I wasn't at my best. I probably wasn't thinking properly. So now, that's why I call my cookies my nighttime medicine. Okay, because I only take that stuff at night. Because if I take it if I eat a cookie during the day, I ain't gonna do shit but sit around and eat Doritos, the blue bag of Doritos. So, that's why, I said the other day that them cookies got the best of me. No, you can't be maneuvering out here in the universe going to work. I know people. When I was a probation officer, y'all, I knew people that was, like them truck drivers. Shouts to Vista to y'all. I don't have no problem with you, ninjas. I don't have no problem with you. But I knew truck drivers that used to shoot dope and get on the road and drive, okay, forever. And PCP users that used to smoke that shit, get on the road and drive. That's too much. I mean, that's too much pressure for me. I can't handle all that. That's too much responsibility. Although I was lucky to make it through the movie, I was even luckier not to have landed in jail alongside the murderers, thieves, and drug addicts like myself when I started. Buying cocaine through a connection with some motorcycle gangbangers. Unbeknownst to me, they were being monitored by state police and federal agents, including their visits to and from my trailer, okay? Now, this is when you know you're gone. When they watching you, but you still go ahead and you buy the stuff anyway and hook up with them people anyways, okay? Anyway, the police got a hold of him and told him, we suggest you don't buy any more dope while you're here, he said, one of the police said. And if you try to leave the state with any, we'll arrest you. Fair warning, but I couldn't help but do whatever stash was left before returning to LA. I even got to the airport, then ordered the driver to turn around so I could go back and dig up the emergency stuff I'd buried in the yard. Nobody can talk you out of doing shiz when you've made up your mind to hurting yourself, right? As the movie finished in LA, Jenny left me. To her, it was a life and death decision. She feared the base was going to kill her if she didn't escape. My bitch left me and I went crazy. I was convinced that Jennifer was cheating on me. That's why she left. That's what was really driving me crazy. At first, I hired various dealer lackeys to tell her. Then one night I decided to punish her myself. I trapped her in the bedroom and nearly strangled her to death while repeating, Jenny Lee, today you're going to die. Ooh, girl. But I felt in love with this pipe. The pipe controlled my very being. This mother hunchy say, don't answer the phone. We have something to do. Or the pipe's talking about, now come on. Don't put me down any place where I might fall because it's 2 a.m. and it's hard to get one more of me. Damn, the pipe be talking to you like that? Gee. After freebasing without interruption for several days in a row, I wasn't able to discern one from the next. Night and day became different shades of gray. Nor did I care about such details as time. But after waking from a short, unrefreshing, troubling sleep late on the morning of June 9th, I drove into Hollywood, where I entered my bank and demanded all the cash from several large accounts I had there. My brain was strung out. I want my money. While I was infectually arguing with the bank manager, who explained that he needed prior notice for such a transaction, Jennifer called my house and pleaded with my Aunt Dee to get me help. She'd never seen me so wasted and sickly. When Aunt Dee reassured her that I was fine, Jenny made a beeline out to North Ridge in order to confront me herself. What? Is she crazy? Girl, that man was choking you to death in the bathroom telling you that you was going to die. Fuck him. Call him, girl. Call him. Hey, boo. Write his ass a letter. Don't go see him. But the sight of me in the dark clutching my pipe told her it was useless. See? See what I'm saying? The house was full, from Rashawn to my cousin and Aunt Dee, not to mention the housekeepers and cook. People were doing their thing. They were trained to leave me alone. Oh, Mr. Pryor, he's in his bedroom. They didn't mention that the door was locked. Nothing changed as darkness took the heat out of the beautiful spring day that day. How hovered over my rocks, pipe, cognac, and big lighter, I smoked and soared and crashed and smoked again, repeating the deadly cycle over and over again as if I were chain smoking Marlboros. Marlboros. My mom always told me them Marlboros, hell, that drag could kill you. I never felt more paranoid, depressed, and hopeless. As that craziness went on, I continued to smoke until I ran out of cocaine. By then, I was experiencing serious dementia. Stuck in a surreal landscape of constantly shifting emotions, no weight floating at the distant end of a tunnel, miserably alone, frightened voices growling louder, closing in, wave after wave of depression, needing to get high, real high. No more dope. Imagining relief was nearby. I reached for the cognac bottle on the table in front of me and poured it all over me. Real natural, methodical. As the liquid soiled my body and clothing, I was scared. Neither did I feel inner peace. I was in a place called there. Suddenly, my isolation was interrupted by a knock on the door. A bang, really. My cousin opened it and looked inside at the moment. I picked up my big lighter. I saw him trying to figure out what I was doing. Come on in, I said. He zeroed in on the lighter in my hand. Oh, no, he exclaimed. Don't be afraid. Then I flicked it. The lighter didn't work. I tried it again, nothing. Then I did it the third time. Whoosh. I was engulfed in flames. I was in a place that wasn't heaven or earth. I must have gone into shock because I didn't feel anything. I sat on the floor when my Aunt Dee rushed in. She peeked in the room as if she were scared at what she'd seen. I motioned her to come in. Smother him, she yelled to my cousin. What the fuck you talking about? Smother him, I said, though I don't know if any sound came out. In my head, I thought that smother him meant something bad, like put the sorry motherfucker out of his misery. Still on fire, though unaware that I turned into a human barbecue, I rubbed the back of my head and looked at my hand. Flames rose from my skin, scared the shiz out of me. I screamed, what the F is that? You're on fire, my auntie exclaimed. And then to my cousin, she barked, put a sheet over him. Again, in my delirium, I thought that they wanted to kill me. Taking advantage of their confusion and horror, I leaped up and jumped out the window. That really took them by surprise. Sprinting down the driveway, I went out to the gates and ran down the street. Come back here, honey, my aunt called. But I kept going, running down Parthenia. I was out of my mind. By the time I hit Havenhurst, my pace had slowed to a walk. A police car pulled up. 2 cops tried to help me. I tried reaching for one of their guns. They could have blown my effing head off. I wanted them to shoot me, hope they'd finish me. But I had no fight in me. My hands and face were already swollen, my clothes in burnt tatters, and my smoldering chest smelled like a burned piece of meat. They held me as an ambulance pulled up and helped get me inside. Oh, Lord, you got me now, I muttered. Then my Aunt Dee, out of breath, bless her heart, got there. She climbed in and started talking to the ambulance attendants. More conversation I couldn't understand as they began treatment for my burns by covering me with fluid-treated sheets. The burn center waiting room turned into a circus of the most concerned. My family filled the place. Aunt Dee, Uncle Dickie, Maxine, and Shelley, my kids, also came in case they needed to pay their last respects. Some in the group couldn't wait for the outcome. They simply went back to Northridge and picked the house clean of jury, television, and picked the house clean of jury, televisions, and shiz. Oh, girl. Oh, my gosh. This part, like, y'all know my wife is a nurse, right? She told me when she was doing her clinicals or whatever they call it or whatever. I don't know what they call it. But, when you're a nurse, you have to do, or in the medical profession, period, you have to put your work in, and she used to work at the burn unit when she was in nursing school, right? Oh, my gosh. She said there is nothing like it in the world. And Richard Pryor explains it in the book. I mean, my wife said that it was so painful because you gotta like scrub the skin off and then the grafts and all these different things. And Richard Pryor is explaining it. He's saying that is the pain when he even is talking about. I can't do it. We're not about to break all that down, baby, because I can't do it. But he said it was horrible. Going home was a relief. Buoyed by 25,000 letters from well wishes and an army of visitors, I settled into the slow, painstaking, and painful routine of recovery. Basically, that consisted of taking baths and rubbing salves into my skin. At night, I slept in a corset that was supposed to prevent my grafts from shrinking. I was also supposed to try not to scratch, but my fingernails scraped the soft, itchy skin until I drew blood. In my state, pleasure and pain were the same. I was fortunate to have surveyed my fiery accident, but after the doctor's treatment and pills were all gone, I was still afflicted with the same old problem. Fears and pains that had caused me to drink a bottle of vodka a day. Spend upward of $250,000 a year on boogity sugarity, beat women, and then work to make them love me again. Now that's crazy. That's crazy. Deborah, bless her heart, was my first woman after the accident. My dick said, every man for itself. I'm protecting my balls. With Deborah, it was like I'd never done it before. But then, oh God, did I do it? It was beautiful. I felt myself in love again, child. Them pills, he had to give him something going on after the fact, but his dick wasn't working right. It hadn't been working right. When them men be doing them boogity sugarity, it never works right. It never does. Oh, wait, I take that back. I guess if you put it on it, it may act right. And not, in your body. If you put it on your body, then it make your dingling act right, I guess. Any doubts I had about how the public would react following the accident were quickly erased. After its December release, Stir Crazy went on a tear at the box. Any doubts I had about how the public would react following the accident were quickly erased. After its December release, Stir Crazy went on a tear at the box office, grossing more than $100 million. In April, the Hollywood community showed their support with a standing ovation when I presented an Oscar at the Academy Awards. Then Bustin' Loose, which I finished after recovering from my burns, continued my winning streak that summer. On February 1981, I returned to the mainland to prepare, because he over there in Hawaii, he love that damn Hawaii. Not damn Hawaii, but Hawaii, Oh, my bubba Wit is from Hawaii, but look, I'm like saying to myself, how the hell can he afford to live out Hawaii? I heard to live out the most expensive place in the world to vacation is Hawaii. I'm like, damn, it's people that actually live there. How can they afford it? In February 1981, I returned to the mainland to prepare for work on Some Kind of Hero. My favorite, Richard Pryor movie. Drug-free until then, my Northridge house was filled with the ghost of when I wasn't clean. They'd waited around like ghoulish fans for my homecoming. But instead of wanting my autograph, they asked, when we going to smoke, Rich? When we going to get high, man? The big house had been vacuumed and cleaned of all my old drug paraphernalia 8 months earlier. The day of my accident, the stuff had been thrown out. Not on account of me, but account, you know how it be, just in case the police coming through looking for some stuff. What you won't do is give me a charge while I'm on fire. That's what you won't do. Wait a minute, you supposed to be saving my life and you around here finding guns. I done had a heart attack. I done called 911 because I done had a heart attack and the police in my house searching for guns. What the hell? But as soon as I walked inside that place, I knew there was some shiz around. I sensed it, sniffled it like a bloodhound. After waiting till the end was quiet, After waiting till the house was quiet and I was alone, I went to where I kept my super secret stash, a little drawer. Lo and behold, I had the exhilarating rush of a prospector who pans the river of a I had the exhilarating rush of a prospector who pans the river, sifts through the silt, looking down and sees a golden nugget sparkling in the sunlight. Eureka! There was a little rock. One perfect little rock. I picked it up and marveled at its whiteness, brightness, a star in the night. Make a wish, Rich. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Don't forget also, love bugs, please follow the NAROB fan page. Now remember this. The same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves, you babies. Y'all better have a good one. Peace.